Hey everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. The Lakers fired Coach Darvin Ham after 2 seasons and are now, of course, looking to replace him. The top candidate in that hunt will undoubtedly, in my opinion, be current Clippers coach Ty Lue. That's extremely unlikely for multiple reasons, in my opinion. Firstly is the fact that he still has 1 year left on his deal with the Clippers, and then further, their owner, Steve Ballmer, will be highly incentivized to extend him at a high number for multiple reasons. Firstly, just the job that he's done there has been quite good, especially with how many injuries that the team has had. He still kept them competitive. And then secondly, the Clippers are moving into a new arena, Intuit Dome, and so it always behooves the owner to have a competitive team when moving into a new arena. That being said, there is that Ty Lue and LeBron connection, so there's a possibility he could ask out, but I still see it as very, very unlikely. If it does pan out like that, the number 2 guy, in my opinion, should be current Timberwolves assistant Micah Nori for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, his experience level, 14 years as an assistant under multiple coaches and multiple organizations. And currently he is head coach of the Wolves, Chris Finch's quote unquote right-hand man. He has strategic oversight over everything that the team does. Secondly, a team is often a reflection of their coaching staff, and this Timberwolves team, with their effort, their discipline, their player development, and roster makeup, are all things that the Lakers badly need. Thirdly is the influence of Chris Finch on Micah Nori. So Nori and Finch were both assistants with the Nuggets under head coach Mike Malone. They stayed in touch. When Finch got the Wolves job, he hired Nori on as an assistant. You could say he's his head assistant now. So he's going to be influenced, and then also, and the other way, influence a lot of Chris Finch's ideas. Finch, when he was the assistant for the Pelicans from 2017 to 2020, he was the key guy who implemented their 2 big lineup with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. That was extremely effective until Cousins ruptured his Achilles. He was never the same player after that. And then now, of course, with the T-Wolves, Finch has again implemented that multi-big system, which is so versatile and is showing the ability to take out, the best big in the league, the best big we've seen in a long time, Nikola Jokic. Obviously, the Lakers with Anthony Davis have a very similar conundrum in how they approach him moving forward. Do they keep him at the 5? Do they want another big with him? With the T-Wolves, with the Nuggets, I think the answer there is clear, and Nori has a detailed understanding of the system with multiple bigs and influence on that system. So he's gonna really understand that process and that approach. Fourthly, Nori has showcased key attributes that you look for in a head coach. Firstly, he's extremely calm and composed. This is based on interviews with multiple people who know him, including head coach Chris Finch, and also just based off some of his sideline interviews as well. His demeanor is extremely calm, always composed. Finch has said that he's kind of keeps him level and grounded. Now, that being said, another guy you could say was extremely calm and composed, which former Lakers coach Darvin Ham. However, there's a difference between calm and composed and freezing up in moments, and that leads to the next key attribute that Nori has. Again, this has been mentioned by Finch, is that Nori is one of the key coaches, if not the key guy, who is responsible for in-game adjustments. That game feel is so critical for a head coach, and one of the key lessons that I've personally learned after watching Coach Darvin Ham, which was one of his key issues. An example of that is OKC Thunder head coach Mark Dagnall, who, for example, who during game 2 of the series versus the Mavericks, he subbed off Josh Giddey at halftime, took him out of the starting lineup, and put in Holiday based on how play was going. And it impacted the course of that game. At least in the short term, the Mavs won, but that was still a key in-game adjustment. You have to, of course, be calm and composed to recognize it, but you also have to then be able to not freeze up to understand what adjustments have to be done. And it sounds like Micah Nori is one of those coaches who can see those things. All in all, I think Micah Nori is a strong candidate for the Lakers' position for all the reasons I've mentioned. I certainly understand people who want a head coach who has previous head coaching experience, especially coming after Darvin Ham, but that's not always a strong indicator. Now, if you have a head coach who has all these attributes and has head coaching experience, like Ty Lue, that's great. There aren't many like that. That's why he's, in my opinion, the number one guy. But if you don't have that, you really now have to look at a head coach who has the right fit and the right attributes, and to really learn the lessons from your previous coaching hires as well.